Hello, my people. Welcome once again. You miss me? I miss you. I've been out of action for some couple of weeks. Body no be firewood. So I was out of action because I had to take care of my health, but I'm back and better. All right, I'm back and better. Thank you for every single individual that reached out to ask, "What's up, Mike?" Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm back now. I'm better now. And I think I have a lot to say. All right. I always have a lot to say. So I think I have better things to say. So on today's episode of Daily Mind Shift, once again, I welcome you. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for always tuning in to Daily Mind Shifts. My name is Michael Ojuola for Mindset Transformation Africa. And on today's episode of Daily Mind Shift, I want us to talk about direction. Let me anchor today's episode on this proverb. When kings lose direction, they become servants. When kings lose direction, they become servants. This is an African proverb that I want to anchor today's episode around. I'm your host, Minister Mike, and today we will talk about direction, like I said before. And it's not just this particular proverb that I'm anchoring today's episode around is not just a saying, all right? It's not just a cliche. It's a lesson, a deep lesson that is wrapped in the wisdom of African sages, all right, of African culture, of African sages, of African thought processes, of how our fathers and our mothers direct their lives. So it's a reminder of the importance of purpose. It's a reminder of the importance of vision and leadership in our lives. All right. So I want you to sit tight, grab yourself a cup of tea or a coffee, open your minds, and let us together embark on this journey. All right. Let us start by talking about the proverb itself. When kings lose direction, they become servants. When you first read this at first glance, it might seem straightforward. Oh, I understand this and all that. I'm not saying you did not, but there is a wealth of meaning beneath the surface of this statement. A king in this context is not about someone on the throne, like on the throne, but even though we are using that as a symbolism, it symbolizes someone at the pinnacle of power, someone that has authority, someone that has responsibility, which is every one of us. A king has a kingdom to rule. The kingdom might be your life, the kingdom might be your work, the kingdom might be your business or your family affair. A king has decisions to make like you do. A king has a vision to uphold like you do too. So losing direction signifies losing sight of your goals, losing sight of your purpose, losing sight of the path you follow or you must follow. So when this happens, the once almighty king is reduced to a servant, literally like a non-entity. Not necessarily in the literal sense, all right, but metaphorically. They become subservient to circumstances. They become a servant to other people's decision. They become a servant to the chaos that will come about from a lack of direction. Now you might be thinking, oh, Minister Mike, I'm not a king, I'm not a queen. How does this apply to me? Like I said before, we all are having responsibility to our lives. So even if you don't have a literal kingdom, your life is a kingdom. So each of us is the king and queen of our own life. We have our own kingdom to govern, whether that's our family, our career, our community, or even our own personal development. When we lose our sense of direction, our sense of purpose, we can easily find ourselves at the mercy of external forces. We can see ourselves drifting aimlessly, or ultimately we start serving situations that we should be mastering. We start serving habits that we should be mastering. So let's talk about this a little bit further. Why do kings or leaders in any capacity or you lose direction? There are several things or several factors, but I will talk about three things: lack of vision, lack of directions, and failure to adapt. Lack of vision. Vision is the North Star that guides us through our lives, through the complexities, through the nuances of our lives. Without a clear vision, it's easy to get lost. So I want you to think about some of the greatest leaders in history: Martin Luther King Jr., Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela. What did they have in common? They have a clear, unwavering vision. Dr. King's vision of racial equality, Gandhi's vision of a free India, Mandela's vision of a reconciliation and unity of his own country. These were the guiding stars. These were the things that guided these three people. Their visions were not just about dreams, they were actionable. Their vision drive every decision and every move that they make. So when we lose our vision, we lose our compass. We start making decisions based on immediate needs or pressures rather than long-term goals. And that is what I don't want to happen to you. Also, distractions. We live in an age of constant distraction. Social media, endless notification, 24/7 news circles. It is easy to lose focus. So distractions pulls us away from our purpose. It scatters our energy. For a king, distractions might come in the form of all these normal things that happen in daily palace activities or kingdom activities, external threats, wars coming, or personal indulgences. For us, it could also be the endless scrolling of our phones, the pursuit of material possessions, or even the pressure to conform to whatever society demands. So to maintain direction, it is very crucial to minimize your distractions. Let me say that again. To maintain direction, it is important, it is crucial to minimize distractions. This doesn't mean that you eliminate all forms of relaxation or entertainment. No, it is about being mindful of how much time and energy you devote to these activities that contribute or that doesn't contribute to your vision. It's about finding a balance and setting boundaries, all right? It's about prioritizing what really matters to you. And also, failure to adapt. That's the third thing I want to talk about losing direction. Failure to adapt. The world is constantly changing. You know that. And we must also change. A king who clings to outdated systems or methods, who ignores the evolving needs of his particular personal kingdom, will eventually fail, will eventually falter. Adaptability is key, and is a very key trait of successful leaders. It's about being flexible. It's about being open to new ideas. It's about being willing to learn. It's about being willing to grow. Adaptability does not mean abandoning your vision. Do you understand? No, it means finding new ways to achieve your vision. It's about being thoughtful, being resourceful, being creative, being innovative, being resilient. It's about being ready to pivot when necessary. While you keep your ultimate goals in sight, you're ready to adapt and do whatever it is that is necessary to do for you to achieve your objective. So how do we ensure we don't lose our direction? Here are some practical tips I want you to take away today. You need to define your vision. Take time to clearly define what you want in your life. What are your long-term goals? What are your purpose? What is your purpose? Write it down, make it tangible, and revisit it often, all right? Set milestones so that you know when you are progressing. You break down your vision into smaller, manageable tasks, and you'll be able to know, I've done this, I've done that. That will be able to help you to measure your progress. Also, eliminate distractions. You need to identify what distracts you. Also, stay adaptable and seek support when it is necessary. Think about a time in your life when you felt lost or you don't have direction. What was happening? Were you lacking vision? Were you overwhelmed by distractions? Or maybe you are just resistant to change that is happening around you. I want you to reflect on how you navigated that particular period, or if you are still in that period, you need to think, what did you learn? What are you learning? How did you find your way back? And how are you finding your way back if you are still in that quagmire? So it's important for you to look back over your life and think. This brings us back to the core of today's Proverbs. When kings or any of us lose direction, we become servants. But it's important to remember that this particular state of losing direction is not permanent. You can regain your direction. You can reclaim your throne. And it starts with moments of self-awareness, a willingness to pause, a willingness to reflect, a willingness to align yourself with true purpose. I encourage you to take some time to reflect on your life. Are you moving with purpose? Do you have a clear vision? Are there distractions you need to address or areas where you need to adapt? Remember, you are a king and you are a queen of